I volunteered to do a presentation last year, and I didn't pick a topic. I said I'd figure it out once we got going. So we haven't really had a presentation recently about just general logging software. We've had one on contest logging software, so I thought I'd go over a couple of the programs that I use. So the main one that I use is Log4OM. I don't really know anybody else that actually uses it, but you do? All right, we have one here. We got two, all right. So OM, old man, so log for old man. They're currently on version 2. It's by IW3HMH, Italian guy. There's the website for it. So when I was looking for logging software when I first started, quite a few of them cost money, and I was already pretty deep into it. So I was looking for something for free, and I found this one. And I was also looking for something that supports a actual database so that I could hook it up to my blog. And this one supports MySQL, so I already had a MySQL server going. And so I load my logs into there. You don't need that. It has a file-based one by default, but you can configure a real database. This over here is the little widget I made for my WordPress blog, Ham Radio, which was on the first page, AA0O.radio, also .com if you can't remember the radio part.
It's a lot of letters.
It syncs to QRZ, Logbook of the World, Club Log, EQSL. There's a few more that it will sync to as well, and I'll show you some of that stuff. It also connects with all your softwares that you might use. Connects with WSJT for your FT8, FLDigi, connects with the Flex, and I'll show you some of that as well.
Does the OM stand for old man?
Old man, yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
So here's what the main screen looks like. I've figured out how to make PowerPoint zoom in, so I'll zoom in there once I go over this. It has basically a bunch of different sections, and the top part is where you enter your contact. So this up here is the cat control, so that's coming from the radio. Over on the right, I don't have a rotator, but it does have the rotator information on it. It connects with PZ rotator. You type in your call sign and it'll load the data. It has an internal database from FCC, but if you have a QRZ subscription, it'll pull in all the other stuff as well from all the different contacts that aren't US. You can set up your band. It'll pull all this automatically from CAT, but typically if I'm doing DX or something, I'll just set the RST stuff that I received from them and sent to them. Next is this section here on the right has what I've worked before with this contact. So Rodriguez Island, I guess I had worked before, and this here, country and call. So this means I've got Logbook of the World confirmed, but I have not on the call sign, but I've worked the call sign before. Same with 10 meters and then the mode CW. So you can see down here where it shows green that I've worked and confirmed the contact on LOTW and those. And then this, I believe, is the one that I just worked recently and hasn't been confirmed. So these icons up here give you like quick links to the different parts of the program. It's got a keyer built in. It's also got the current solar stats up there on the top right of the screen. Down on the bottom here we have a map. They'll show you where the contact is. I think you'll need the QRZ set up for this, but it shows you where we are. It's got the gray line, and then it shows where the call sign is located. I'm going to go over each of these tabs here next. So the program, as a UI software guy, is it's kind of dated, but it has all that information. It's got a ton of information jammed into one screen, so it's I understand why he did it how he did. Down on the bottom here, you have the connection statuses for the cluster and the cat controls, and it also has a chat feature as well. I've only used that once, but if someone else has this program, you can chat with them in the program itself.
Hey, Pat,
Yeah.
for those that may not know, can you explain what CAT is?
Oh, cat control is a serial interface to your radio, so it gets the frequency, and it can also control the radio to change the frequency so that you can sync your software with the radio. I forget what it stands for.
Computer assisted, I forgot.
Yeah.
Computer assisted transceiver is
All
what
right,
it is.
computer assisted transceiver. All right. So here's more of a zoomed in on it. It gives you the long path, short path pointing if you have a antenna rotator, as well as the location code and then the distance. So 1,600 kilometers or 16,000 kilometers. This over here is a band scope. It's showing in the current spot of that call sign. Because I have it on 80 meters, you can change the band, and you can also click on this and it'll tune the radio using the CAT control. And then this thing down here is the showing the status of my SQL server.
Is it using FL-Rig for cat control, or will it also?
It gives you the option to use OmniRig or HamLib. I don't
You use
think.
HamLib as
yeah,
well? Okay.
Yeah, and it's got a TCP. I've got a slide for that. Next is the recent QSOs. This is what I usually leave this on because I don't need to look at the map, but I want to make sure that it logs my contacts so I could see that it actually went from FT8 into this. So here is typical ADIF type stuff that you would see. Pulling it from the database. It does have a little bit of lag on some of these when you have 20,000 contacts. That's one of the, but most of the time it's loading just what it's showing you. But sometimes when you want to search or change the sort on it, it'll kind of slow down a little bit. Next is the cluster. Just kind of giving you an overview here, and then I'll zoom in on it. So this has a built-in cluster connection, so it'll connect to a cluster is like a telnet server. This is a visual format of it. So it's telnet's a text-based internet protocol, and people log into it and post the contacts that they see or the different call signs they see and the frequencies, and then you can go and find them. So here's a zoomed in view of it. What's nice about this is it goes into your log and it'll show you if you've had a contact with that call sign, or with that call sign, or that what should I call it, the entity. So 207 entity Rodriguez Island, and those are, the C is for confirmed contacts. You can go and click on these, and I'm guessing these colors mean I haven't worked them because they're yellow there. Not sure where they get the reliability from. I'm thinking that's based on maybe the call sign that reported it. I'm not exactly sure on that. This program does have a PDF manual. It's almost 300 pages long, so they fully documented all the features on it. It is on version 2, and they do update it probably quarterly, so it's really well done for a free program. From here, we have the band scope here, and you can click on those call signs and your radio will tune to it. So it makes it really easy to go to the DX and find out, if you can hear them or not, which it's 50-50, maybe less.
You have to type those call signs though, right?
No, it'll tune you and fill it in for you when you click on it.
I think that what would really be cool is voice recognition. Grab those call signs, because that's my difficulty.
Yeah. You mean grab them off over the air?
Well, yeah, from the sound,
Yeah.
process it.
Yeah, like a
K4UPC.
a sideband
and-
skimmer?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe with AI we'll get there.
It's coming.
The next tab is propagation. So I'm not exactly sure what the source of it is, but it's pretty cool, and it'll grab the predictions. I'm guessing it's from that VOACAP site. This is the signal to noise ratio over time that it's predicting for I think 20 meters in this case, based on the location. And I think, I'm not exactly sure where, that might be the one that I had selected there. So it's showing you what your signal to noise might be into the grid square of the contact that you have in your log there. And it also gives you the map as well. So I use this quite a bit when I was getting started to like see where the contacts are. Now I'm kind of going after very specific contacts, so I don't really use these too much anymore, but this is helpful to know where you might be able to hear signals from at any given point in time. Here's the worked before tab. I put Tom's call sign in there so you can see I worked Tom different CW contests and a couple RIDI contests at some point. 599 of course. And then here is statistics. This is on the top menu. I couldn't get a screenshot because it once you click off the menu goes away, but on the top there's a menu that says statistics, and this is what it brings up. So you have a lot of options here. You can pick on the country, and then it'll give you a option to show the different types of QSLs. It will log your mailed QSLs if you want, so you can, as you mail them, you can go in here and say I sent one, and then when you receive it back, you can go in and fill it out that you've received one from them, so that you don't get into a loop of sending them back and forth. I have it currently on Logbook of the World, and it shows that I have sent and received the QSL from these call signs in Andorra. So it gives you the date, and it connects to Logbook of the World, and it'll you do all that stuff from TQSL for you, so you don't have to go in there and do it yourself. You do have to have TQSL on here and configure it because it uses the executable, but you don't have to deal with all that crap that they put in there. I don't know why they made it so secure. I don't have it set up to automatically send them, so once I do a bunch of contacts, or if I get one I really definitely want in there right away, I'll go and send it. They say you're not supposed to send every contact as you do it in the Logbook of the World, though. I know you said earlier that you do it, so.
With Logbook of the World, you have to exit the logging software for it to send. That's one of the restrictions that they put on it.
No, not on this one. You hit send and it brings up a little window and it does it.
But it still actually doesn't send it with TQSL until you exit the software. They batch it up that way. Yeah, the others like QRZ and EQSL, it goes immediately. When
I haven't had that experience. It comes up and says these have been received and because I never exit the program. It's almost always on.
I was watching a video and I think that they said that they were sending it through UDP.
This software?
Yeah.
It has a status window and it tells you we've received 7 contacts or whatever. Here's another view that gives you a very similar view that you get when you actually go on Logbook of the World. So this, I need to use this more often to help fill in my blanks. I forgot this even had it until I was making this presentation, but I scrolled around until I found an area where it's pretty populated with contacts. So you can see here though, it's got the call sign reference and then the different bands, and then the if I've worked them and if I've confirmed, the green's confirmed, and the gray W's are people that haven't sent me back their confirmation yet.
Worked and verified?
Yeah, worked and verified on Logbook of the World. This is DXCC specifically up here. You can, I think there's 40 some awards that you can look at up in here. So quite a bit of stuff gone into this. I think I didn't go through all these tabs, but there's some more stuff in there as well for different awards. It's got the counties and all that as well. There's a zoomed in view of it. It does have contesting capability. I don't think anybody actually uses it though, so I skipped over that because we've done lots of contesting logging stuff in here. Here's the QSL manager. This is where I do the uploads for the Logbook of the World, so you can see that I haven't received them on those ones, but I've sent them out. So typically in this, I'll go and I'll hit search and it'll fill this out, and then I'll select all the ones that haven't been sent yet, and then I'll hit upload selected QSO, and it'll go out and do the upload to Logbook of the World. the EQSL and the club log and stuff goes out automatically as you make the contact. And it will update that club log live stream, which is kind of cool. Additional features that I didn't do screenshots of it. Backs up your log automatically each time you start, and it keeps 6 copies of it. So if you did have an issue with it, you can go back and get your logs, and you don't lose all your data that you've had forever. I recommend backing up that as well, unless you're using the database, then back up your database. It also backs up the configuration, which is fairly extensive. It has a lazy log, which is a command prompt style logging, where you can just kind of dump all the contact information in one line versus clicking around on the GUI in there. I have another program that I'll show you after this that's similar to that. It's kind of similar to TR4W, where you can put this stuff in any order you want, and it'll figure it out. It's got the solar stats graphing, the K index and all that stuff. You can go in there and see historical graphs on that. There's a clock if you want to put a big clock on your screen, and it'll do that for you. It's got a net control feature, so you can keep track, if you're the net control, of different call signs and stuff that are checking into the net. I mentioned the chat, and QSL label printing. If you're going to print out a ton of QSL cards, you can print out the labels for them right from the software. Here is the cat control settings. So I'm using HandLib on it. I have the Flex, which is uses the Kenwood TS2000 rig style. Then you have your typical parameters, COM port, and baud rate settings and all that. It has OmniRig as well, and it's TCP. I don't know why you put TCI there. I think that's a typo, but
No,
you can do TP. What's that?
There's a TCI interface.
Oh, there is. All right. Yeah, when you click on it, it's a TCP connection, so I guess they just call it that. So you can see over here all the different stuff you can configure. So there's quite a lot of things in here that you can set up. I'm not going to go through all of them. I was joking about the 175 slides. Here, this one's probably the next most important one. This is the connections to other software, and there's plenty of YouTube videos on how to set this up. This is set up for FT8, so I've got a port for WSJT, so when you select a contact in there, it will populate that window that I showed you. I use JT Alert as my extension program for FT8, and so I've got a couple of connections for that. I believe that's what connects back into the log. Then I have it hooked into N1MM, so as long as I'm running this while I'm doing a contest with N1MM, all my contacts go into my main log. And then I have FLDigi as well if I want to do some non-FT8 digital stuff.
Hey, Pat?
Yeah.
And, I know it does JT Alert, you just have it
Yeah.
up there. Will it also do work with Grid Tracker?
Yeah, so you can, that's what I put in there,
Sure,
so it's
sure.
an ADIF message, so I just, I typed in JT Alert.
They
and,
did when you configure it.
yeah, you put in whatever port you want, and then you can connect it so that, and you can set all the ports to whatever you want. So if you have multiple copies of something or anything like that, it's totally configurable, which is both good and bad. So it makes it way more complicated, but it also gives you flexibility to do pretty much whatever you want with the networking. Any other questions on that? So the next program that I use is called Fast Log Entry. This is what I use for paper logs. So I typically do my POTA on paper, and then I come home and use this program to transfer it into a ADIF format. It's free, and it also uses a shorthand like that fast or that lazy log that I showed you before. So here's my typical POTA log. I got the date. I need to start putting the year on there, I guess. Park number, name of the park, and then I'm doing central time, so I log my logs in local time. So I need to make sure that the UTCs match up when I convert it later. And then the frequency. And then I just, I'll typically have my phone next to me, and I'll make contacts, and then I will tap on my phone every once in a while to see what time it is and just write it in there, and I'll show you how that works with this program. I quite often get my D's and O's confused, so I make sure I really make them dark on there. and the U's and the V's. That guy's got a tricky one. So here is the what the fast log entry looks like. Does anybody else use this one?
No, but I'm gonna.
That's
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
All right. Yeah, so this is a shorthand for making ADIF files so you can convert and send them into POTA. So I take my paper log and then I put my call sign in, put the date of the operation, and then it actually has POTA support now. And then down here I have UTC time, the frequency, the mode, call sign, and then the results. And the fun part about this is it knows, you notice there's no times next to these, so it'll figure out the times based on whatever end time I put in there. So you don't even need to put the the hour. You just put 37. It knows it's 37 minutes, and it goes and fills it out. Only problem is I can't figure out how to make the columns bigger. I think I don't think he coded that in there. So the columns are tiny little fixed width things. It'll also automatically fill in 599. So if they're both 599, it'll fill that in for you. So you just basically write the call signs. If I almost always give 599. I kind of wish you flipped them around, so then I would just put the what I received. But this makes it real easy to convert from paper into an ADIF file. Do you have a question?
I have a comment. So if you use Windows and you have the little clipping, the snipping program,
Yep.
if you take a picture of your log, you can actually cut and paste it right into like Notepad. It recognizes the handwriting. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
It would recognize most of your handwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to check it.
Yeah, I
Then
don't,
it's easy to go in and fix it.
yeah. I don't write very often. I mostly type.
I'm just trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
I'm only getting about 20%, but that's okay, right? So you're saying these 599s, I assume that this is all, CW?
Yeah, CW. So I put CW in there,
Oh,
and
okay. Oh, I didn't see that from
yeah.
there. Okay, yeah, it makes sense now. I understand everything.
yeah. So you put in what you just kind of
Sure.
mash it all in there, and
Yeah.
it color codes it automatically for you. It's pretty smart.
But you have to manually type all this in, is what you do?
Yeah,
Here on
yeah.
the left?
Yeah, so I go through my log and I type all this in. Next time I might try that Notepad thing and then paste it into here, because you could probably write it in this format and then just paste it right in there. It makes it significantly easier than trying to use the GUI, which I did originally, and then I'm like, there's got to be an easier way, and then I found this. Because you just, like this one here, I don't even have to, I just put the call sign, and it figures out the time for you, which that was really annoying doing the time with the drop down.
The one cool thing about FLE, that's a fantastic program. The one cool thing about FLE is all you really have to do is type in the things that change. So for example, let's say in the middle of those contacts, Pat decided to switch to, what band were you on, 20?
20, yeah.
Let's say in the middle of those contacts, Pat decided to switch to 15. So all he has to do is put one line entry that says 15M or band 15M or
Yeah,
frequency. And then all the contacts from then on, it'll use that frequency. So the idea is just add the things you change. Like time and call is what you change.
Yeah,
That
and
makes
this
it really
is very well documented as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's there's a ton of examples on there, and there's more features to it as well.
Yeah, you said it's figuring out the time for all of those entries that you put there. You put a time and then you put a bunch of entries.
Yep.
What is it, just, like kind of splitting the difference
Yeah.
between that end time that you put?
Yep.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah,
spreading
so
it out in that time.
It's close enough for
Yeah.
POTA matching, so I mean, actually there's no matching, but it's close enough for.
There is.
Oh yeah, for park to park.
park,
Yeah.
15 minutes is left.
So you don't have to have the exact frequency then.
You don't, but I always do it that way. It figures out what band you're on, but you could just put 20 meters, and I don't think POTA actually cares. So.
All he cares is which band.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to just put the minutes in maybe every 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, yeah. So this isn't the same log, but if I have a delay in a contact and I'm not getting any, then I'll write down the time. I'll tap my phone and grab the time and put it on there.
Yep.
But if I'm just going full blast, I don't write it down. All right, that's it.
That's it?
Thanks, all right. Anybody think they're gonna switch?
I just found somebody who made a command line version of that apparently is cross-platform, so
Oh, nice.
absolutely can use it.
So just a real quickie, I use VX Lab Suites, but I'm assuming that if you wanted to try that, which I'm interested in trying it out, you just do an ADIF.
Yeah, you just dump your ADIF in there and import it in, and
It'll allow you to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Does it support multiple locations?
Yeah, it must. I haven't done that, but I'm sure it
It
does.
does, it does.
So Log4 OM does work on Linux as well.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Oh.
There you go.
Interesting.
Being I don't run Windows.
Yeah.
What did you do, run in line? Or the actual?
Crossover, but same.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that running in Linux, but. All right, thanks everybody.
Okay, it's wine friendly. Because Linux logging software sucks.
So how many people use, well, first of all, let's get you out of the way. How many people use a Mac to log? How many people use a Macintosh for their logging? You guys do, I know two. I'm gonna say I know two. Okay, that it? Okay, good. So we got you guys out of the way. All right, so everybody, because they use, well, you use two different programs, okay. So everybody else uses, well, a lot of people probably use Windows. There's probably a couple who use Linux. So of the people who use Windows, how many people use HRD?
Sometimes.
Okay, HRD. How many people use DX Keeper, DX Labs?
Sometimes.
I do, yeah. Dave's got ADIF files going all over his computer, I'm sure. Let's see, what am I missing? How many people use, how many people just upload to QRZ and don't use anything else locally? You know, one thing you're missing with that, right? You have to type the frequency in every time.
Yes.
So with the CAT control, by the way, it's computer aided transceiver. I misspoke before. So you have to type the frequency in or band in each time when you do QRZ. I know a lot of people who use just QRZ. You just have to, you don't get any computer automation. You can't like double click on a spot and have your radio change at the same time and things like that. So what am I missing? Anyone else?
On the phone, when I'm operating mobile, I use Polo.
Polo is a fantastic program.
Really nice, and
How
then
many-
I import the ADIFs into Log4OS.
How many people use Hammers on their phone?
Yeah, I tried it. I
Hammers,
missed
yeah.
that.
Polo's a really good program. Any other programs I haven't? Go ahead, Dave.
I just wanted to mention something, it's contesting software, but I don't know if anybody's ever used a program called Genlog, Genlog? No.
Hello. Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay, Genlog is predominantly a contest logging program. And it covers approximately 350 to 400 contests. Now, one of the problems that you see when you look at, for example, N1MM or WriteLog or any of those type of programs, they cover all the big contests, ARRL, CQ, and all that. Now, what about working, let's say, the PSK club events? They don't work any of those. Small contests, for example, just a state QSO party. Included in this 350 to 400 different contests. They're not sophisticated programs, they don't have rig control, they don't do all this kind of fancy stuff, but they have all types of programs in there, or contests in there, from various organizations that you'll never find in any of the other loggers. And you can go ahead and use that log, for example, if you wanted to do just a state QSO party. Okay, you could go in there and do the Florida QSO party, then you could ADIF it out and send it in, or you could use a Cabrillo output and send it in, whatever is required. The beauty of it is that these programs dupe things. And if you're on one of the standard loggers like AC log, or maybe even the program that Pat was talking about tonight, if you want to use that in a contest, does it dupe?
What do you mean by?
Duplicates?
Does it detect them, you mean?
Does it detect
Oh,
duplicates?
yes.
Okay, that type of stuff. Now, some of the programs you can set up to do that, but it takes you the ones that have a contest area in their program where you can set up the things for an individual contest for whatever things that you have to, for example, exchange or with the other stations that you're working. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that to light, that GenLog, I've used it for years and years on PSK 31 contests that put on by the 070 Club, which is a PSK club nationwide, worldwide. And like the state QSO parties, it just has contests on there that you would not believe that none of the big programs cover. And it's very simple programs, you know, and when you're done with it, you can ADIF your log out or Cabrillo your log out and make any adjustments you need to make and then send it in. So it's called GenLog, GenLog. That's all.
Thank you, Dave. I forgot N3FJP. Anyone use AC log from N3FJP?
I've
All right,
tested
we got a
it.
few
That's
of
a good
those.
log.
Yeah.
I miss any Windows loggers? All right, go ahead. What are the Linux guys using? Anybody using Linux, logging on Linux?
Log4M.
Hmm?
Log4OM.
Log for OM, okay. Anyone use CQR log on Linux?
I tried it and didn't like it.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it either.
I tried all the ones that they had, and
Okay.
yes, I have to use Wine, but it works fine in
All
Wine.
right, and one last thing, you'll notice the program Pat talked about, log for OMV2, that's a general purpose logger. The one thing you'll always see is you'll see in news, in the groups IOs for various programs, people will say, hey, I'm trying to use N1MM for my general logger and it doesn't upload the logbook of the world. It's like, yes, it's not supposed to. It's not a general logger, it's a contest logger. And I get that with TR4W because I work on that. So people always say, hey, I want to upload the logbook of the world. No, that's not a general purpose logger. Go export your file and put it into another log. All right. So did we cover anybody? Anyone else really have a program? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a question. What is our SPARC 2-meter net nightly use? Do we use a logger at all?
That's for the pre-net.
Doesn't the pre-net use NetLog?
Yes, pre-net uses NetLog.
It depends on who's running that.
Okay.
Really.
I was wondering, because it seemed like it was organized, but I couldn't figure out how the guy knew in order, calling on people, how he did that,
If it's Alex, he probably writes it down.
I write it down.
No, that's just old-fashioned net control people to handle check-ins. That's not, I don't think the regular net's generally NetLogger.
No.
Okay, so for 50/50, this is